Alrighty, everyone. So good evening, and an impromptu Q&A stream here. Just kind of hanging out with the viewers. We beat Lies of P way earlier than expected. I thought it was going to take me all night or longer. People were really hyping it up like the end was tough, and I beat that final boss pretty easily. So, yeah, I'm here to relax for a half an hour, maybe a little longer with the audience and see what they want to talk about and go from there. So let's see. What do people want to chat about tonight? If you want to chat, please tag me in the chat. All right, and we shall discuss. No, I'm not playing Lords of the Fallen. I've already answered this question. There's no time to play it. There's just not enough time to play that game before the 100 other releases coming out. So, rather than play it and then not play it enough and everyone's disappointed, I'm going to save it for November. And I'm actually going to play the playthrough in November. Unlike other games, I don't think it matters when I play Lords of the Fallen. It's a Soulsborne style game. People are going to enjoy it no matter when I play it, so I'm going to do it in November at some point when we beat most of the other new releases. So that's going to include Assassin's Creed Mirage, Sonic Superstars, Mario Wonder, and Spider-Man 2, and Alan Wake 2. All those. And when we're getting through those, then we'll start up with Lords of the Fallen. So... I don't know what my favorite game this year so far was. I have to think about it. And why would I say that when I do a countdown at the end of the year that people anticipate? That would kind of be a spoiler, no? So I think that I should wait until it's time to appropriately think about those things and prepare for that countdown. I don't want to spoil. So. Lords of the Fallen will be better than Lies of P? I don't think so, Felix. I'm going to be honest here. Lies of P hit it out of the park, and it was a huge surprise. Like, no one was expecting that game to be that good. In fact, a lot of people were very skeptical. The fact that that game was literally Bloodborne 2 was pretty insane. And I don't see how Lords of the Fallen will beat it. I'll be honest. I think Lords of the Fallen might be a good attempt at, like, a Dark Souls, because we haven't really had a pure Dark Souls in a while. Elden Ring was definitely not Dark Souls 4. It had a lot of elements from it, but being open world and some different things, it wasn't. I think this will essentially be Dark Souls 4. But I don't think that's as good as Bloodborne 2, just being honest. I think Lies of P is going to be better. Yes, if I do a second run in Lies of P, I will try to change things up completely. Like, tell a lot of truths, use a different, very different build from what I just did. I mean, why would I do a second run that's the same build and the same choices? That'd be pretty stupid. I have no idea if I'll ever play Baldur's Gate 3. We've already talked about that. I don't know. I mean, I'm happy for people that are enjoying it. I don't know if it fits my format of content. Certainly, people tried it with Divinity Original Sin 2. It didn't work. So I don't see how that would work, honestly. Klein says, are you going to cover the new Pokemon game? What new Pokemon game? There is none. There's a DLC, and I'm not playing that at this point, no. But I'm not aware of a brand new Pokemon game coming out. If you're talking about a new installment of Pokemon whenever it comes out, yes, I always play the new Pokemon games. But I'm not aware of one coming out anytime soon. Alright, El Grey Zero, have a good night and good luck beating the game. Escanor, we are good, no problems. It was my mistake. Totally my fault. The Gamer says, how come you'll play what your audience wants, but you won't play Baldur's Gate 3? Because we've already had this conversation a lot. We tried this with Divinity Original Sin 2. We tried a top-down, what is it called? Isometric view, slow-paced, turn-based, heavy, immersive, narrative-style RPG. We tried it. It didn't work. I'm a variety streamer. I can't immerse myself in the world of those kind of games enough to play it often enough for it to really click. Like, Divinity Original Sin 2, I got, 60 hours in, and we all were piss bored with it. And we're like, don't play it anymore. The only way I was even going to advance was to grind a ton, which it's not fun, you know? I'm not saying that Baldur's Gate 3 is the same as Divinity. What I'm saying is we gave that kind of formula a shot already years ago. It didn't work. So why do you think that things have changed? I don't think they have at all. I think what would happen is at first there'd be some hype as I start, and then when a few streams, everyone get bored with it. Just like they did with Divinity, you know? And then here I am trying to tough through it, because remember, that was supposed to be like a patron's choice, not patron's choice, it was a viewer's choice playthrough that people had picked, and we played so much of it, and it still got nowhere, and no one liked it. like I said, those insanely detailed, very lengthy, immersive RPGs are meant for people who are just going to sit there and hyper focus on it. And when you play a game, that's your game for like a month. If you immerse yourself in the world of Baldur's Gate 3, it's probably amazing. When you're only playing a game 2-3 times a week and you're balancing it with 2-3 other games, that kind of game doesn't work. The formula doesn't work for my style of content. It probably works for many other content creators and streamers. It would never work for me. That's why I know at this point there's no point in even thinking about it. Maybe in the future at some point. I don't think right now it would ever work. Okay? Okay. Oh, you're talking about Detective Pikachu? Maybe. I don't know anything really about Detective Pikachu, honestly. I know it's definitely not a normal Pokemon game. It's something completely different, correct? So, I don't know, but I'm definitely not playing it now. Like I said, you guys know the games that are on my radar right now. In the next few weeks, I'll be playing, well, continuing on and finishing Assassin's Creed Mirage, Sonic Superstars, Super Mario Wonder, Spider-Man 2, and Alan Wake 2. That's basically my October right there. Plus, of course, we're going to have the October end of the month marathon, Halloween marathon. Then come November, there's some early November games, notable ones, like a Dragon Gaiden, and the possibility of Modern Warfare 3. I'll be honest, I really did like the Modern Warfare 3 beta last night, and I think I am going to do another night stream of it coming up this week because I think I want to. I think it would actually be quite good. So, I think we'll probably, I might end up getting it. I'm on the fence. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to or not. I'm on the fence about it, okay? We'll see. All right, it appears I received a tip. This is weird. This is very weird. Give me a second. There's a reason why it's weird. I don't want to say it yet publicly. I just want to take a look, okay? Let me take a quick look here. Bear with me. So here's why a tip came in, but it came in a different currency. And I have no idea what this currency is. Yeah. So because I don't know what the currency is, I don't know how much it is. This has never happened before. I'm serious. So I don't know how much the tip is. I have no clue. So I don't know how much it is. I can't play an animation or add it to the leaderboard. I don't understand why a tip came in of a different currency. That's really weird. Yeah, I'm very confused. So, let's see here. Okay. Okay, so I received an $18 tip. See how weird it was? And it's an anonymous tip. The person actually did not leave a message, but it's an $18 tip. So I appreciate that very much. I do. Thank you. I don't know why it came through in a different currency. That's bizarre. I've never seen that happen before once. So that's why I'm a little confused. But it is an $18 tip after conversion. So thank you for that. And that gets us up to $30 in tips tonight. That was confusing. And then I received a $1 tip from Jesse. So it says, after facing the final boss of Lies of P and it not being that tough, do you wish you got to face the boss before the patch? It was saying, some people were saying it took them 5 hours to beat it. They didn't patch the final boss. Did you read the patch notes? I don't think people have read the patch notes. Here, I'm going to look it up right now. Lies of P patch notes. Okay? We're going to find it right now. Here it is. I'm staring at it right now. Ready? Boss monster balanced changes. This is it. This is all that they tweaked with that patch. Are you ready? The number of HP of Fallen Archbishop Andreas. The number of HP of King of Puppets in the first phase. The number of HP of Simon Manus Arm of God. Decrease the damage output of Simon Manus Awakened God. Increased chance to break the stance of Simon Manus Awakened God. That's it. That's it. They didn't tweak any other bosses in the game. So I'm playing the game and people are like, oh, you see, Phil's beating it because they made it easier with the patch. They literally didn't touch another boss. All that I read, that's all they changed. That final boss is legit how that final boss was supposed to be in the game. It wasn't any harder. If it took other streamers 5 hours to beat it, it could be different scenarios. It could be a couple things. Number one, it could be that they have a build that's not good for that boss. That final boss is incredibly fast, right? My build, I was dodging around it, and I was parrying. Correct? So because of that, it wasn't nearly dealing as much damage to me as maybe other people. Did you see I was actually parrying a lot of that final boss's attacks and getting the counter hits. In addition, I found the box in the game that allowed me to buy the special, what do they call it, grindstone, that gives you the ability to auto parry. So both on that boss, on Laxasia, I was getting at least almost a whole stun for free because I was using the auto parry, which is a mechanic in the game you should be using, right? For sure. You should be using that. So I was getting free damage, right? And that's why. So maybe that's why. You know, I can't answer. I haven't seen anyone else fight the boss yet. In fact, now that I have beaten the game, my wife and I will likely watch someone else play it and beat it tonight. Or not maybe not tonight, but you know what I mean. Like, we've been watching one or two people playing it, and we haven't watched it now in like a week because I wanted to beat it first. So we probably will go watch someone else play it and beat it and see how hard that was for them. But they did not nerf the final boss at all. Oh, by the way, I was also using the gun a little bit, right? I was using the gun damage. So that's another factor. I was using the gun. I was using auto parry. I mean, use the tools available. If they didn't use it and they had 5 hours to beat them, I mean, that's probably why. Or maybe I could see that boss being a huge problem for someone who has a very slow build, correct? Like, imagine if you're just a big lumbering tank with a giant mallet or something. You're probably too slow. You can't even get out of the way. You can't freaking, you know, either you parry everything or how are you going to hit that guy? He's so fast, right? So I don't know. But that's it. That is the patch notes. The other balance changes were they decreased the HP of certain field monsters, increased the chance of breaking monster stance. I definitely noticed that the mini boss style enemies stun a ton more. Increased the staggerable window time. That's correct. When they get staggered, you can hit them more easily now. That's true. They increased drop rates of all crafting items and star fragments, and so they increased the amount of ergo output. Okay. They made it so you can easily respec as soon as you find the golden tree. It used to you had to beat the museum, but now it's just the golden tree. And more carry weight, you know? So people who beat it right away basically had to beat it with I guess, arguably less carry weight. But the boss was identical outside of that. Yeah. So I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know. I don't know what you know, people are just making excuses, I think. For the fact that I beat the game, is like, no, I beat it legit. That last boss was not nerfed at all. You know? Right? Okay. And by the way, people are saying there was a lag spike. I didn't see it. It's got to be on the YouTube end. I see nothing. I didn't see any lag spike on my end. So, sorry about that. That's correct. I didn't summon once during the playthrough. I don't even know what the summon mechanic is like because I never used it. Okay, so I received a $20 tip. What's up, Phil? Congrats on beating Lies of P. I'm sending some regards. Send some regards to Abby, who is watching the stream here with me tonight. Well, hello, Abby. Good evening. I hope you enjoyed the conclusion of my Lies of P playthrough. Thank you to whoever this is. There's no name on this tip. So thank you, whoever this is, for the $20 tip. I appreciate that. Now we have an anonymous $20 tip tonight. So thank you very much for that. And with that, we did hit the Gunner Glasses goal tonight. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. The tier 1 tips goal, that is. Right? Thank you, thank you. Yes, there's a police siren outside. I hear it. It's a few streets away. There we go. Cool. All right, let's see what else you guys want to talk about. Still got about 15, 20 minutes left on the stream. Let's see what people want to chat about tonight. What is the plan for the suggestions box? I've already explained that what we're going to do is that suggestions box will be posted up the first week of every month. People will post up suggestions in it. I'll review them, approve them. They'll be posted. And then what we're going to do is either the last week of every month or the first week of said next month on my podcast, probably for 2-3, actual podcasts. We're going to go through the suggestions box and read them off and answer, say, hey, here's a suggestion. Let's consider it. Is there something we could implement? Is there something people would want? Does it not work? That's what it's for. But it's going to take a while. We want to accumulate a bunch, and then we want to do it basically, beginning of every month. We kind of sit down and review those, okay? So that's what's happening with that. Okay. I received a $10 tip. Let's see here. This is to show support for your Modern Warfare 3 gameplay. I actually loved last night. I discovered you on YouTube way back when, and during your Modern Warfare 2 gameplay from 2009. I'd love to see you play Modern Warfare 3 and return to all of those maps. Thank you very much. I appreciate that very much. And in reality, I was going to play it tomorrow night, and then I found out it's not live tomorrow night. It goes down during the day tomorrow, so we can't play it again. But I did find out that the beta is live again on Xbox next weekend, so I'll probably play it then. I think we should. Absolutely, I think we should. Awesome. Thank you, overpoweredbone. He says, I ran suggestions so far through AI, and the AI kind of made a summary. Oh, that's interesting. I'll have to check that out. Did I ever watch Wizard of Oz? Many, many times I've seen that movie. Yes. Would I ever play a Gotham Knights DLC? No. I played through Gotham Knights. It was a fine game. I'm not interested in DLCs. Will I talk about the Unity leader leaving on tomorrow's podcast? Well, considering it's news and I have a news segment on my show, I probably would talk about that. Yes, I would think so. What's the most pizza I've ever eaten in one sitting? I don't know. I don't think I've ever eaten more than like half of any given pizza. Seriously. Like even like a home pizza, the ones you make in your oven. I don't think I've ever eaten more than like half. I mean, that's a lot to begin with. And that would not be common. But I think that's insane. Like, has anyone ever just sat down and ate like a whole pizza by themselves? That's insanity, right? You are asking about one sitting, right? Because I've told you guys this back in the day. We're talking like mid-2000s. So this is way before I was ever a YouTuber. All right, I did not have money. All right, I was sharing a 3-bedroom apartment with 2 roommates. All right, and it was expensive because we lived in like downtown New Haven, Connecticut, which was very expensive to live in. And I was working a job, excuse me, and I wasn't making a lot of money. So no exaggeration. I'm serious now. This is what my lifestyle would be. And I know this is absolutely disgusting. No one should ever live like this. All right. I would go back then. Did you ever hear of the 5-5-5 deal from Domino's Pizza? You probably haven't because it's 20 years ago. But what they would do, you could order 3 medium pizzas, any toppings, unlimited, for $5 each. So $15, you could get 3 medium pizzas from Domino's. So I would do this deal. And I would get the Philly cheesesteak pizza. I would get like a Supreme Meats pizza. and then I would get one that was something weird or different, like Hawaiian or something like that, right? So I get 3 loaded medium pizzas, all right? I would eat that pizza as my food for like 5 days. So like it would arrive one night and I would have like 2 pieces. Then everything would go in the fridge. Next day for breakfast, I'd have 1 piece. Then middle of the day, another piece. Night, 2 pieces. And I would stretch that out for the entire like 5 effing days. It was like the pizza diet. That was what I would do for like the week. And then when I would go to work, in the parking lot of where I worked was a McDonald's. So I would go there in the morning before I went to work. If I was hungry, I would go there and I would buy 2 double cheeseburgers. And I would eat 2, by the way, they were $1 back then. So I have 2 $1 double cheeseburgers. Not McDoubles, actual double cheeseburgers before they made the McDouble. These had cheese, like a lot more cheese and everything on them. So I would eat 2 effing double cheeseburgers, go to work, and then when I got out of work, I would go back to the dollar menu, and I would get like the 4-piece McNuggets, which was $1, and I would get like a McChicken sandwich. So that was my food for the day. I'd have 2 burgers before I went to work, and then after work, I get like nuggets and another chicken sandwich, and that was all my food for the day. This was the absolute worst lifestyle. Do not ever attempt this. This is horrible for you. I was a blimp because I ate awful foods, but I could afford it because the food is cheap. That terrible food was cheap for you. So you could just buy it and you could survive off of like no money. You could spend like $40 a week and it would pay for everything if you live like that. Anyway, so yeah, so don't do that. But anyway, that, like I said, no, I don't think I've ever eaten more than like half of a pizza in one sitting in my whole life. Am I gonna play Persona 3 Remake? Looks great. Sadly, comes out right in smack dab in the middle of new games. You've got Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth coming out in late January, and then you've got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth in late February. I want to play those 2 RPGs way more than I want to play Persona 3 Remake. So I think Persona 3 is just going to have to wait and see if I ever play it. I don't know. But those other games take priority for me. Liza P says, fun fact, Congress tried taxing pizza. They wanted to deem it a vegetable in 2011. There you go. I'll be getting my Halloween costume for this year this week on my day off. On this week, during my day off, I'm going to get it. So, I don't know what I'm even getting yet. We had a few ideas, but there's a new Halloween store that opened up near the other one, and we're going to go to both, see what they have, and get the best costume. So there you go. No, I'm never playing Cyberpunk ever again. You can stop asking. No, I've never had the Costco food court pizza. I've heard good things about it, but I never had it. No, Cyberpunk would not bring in views and money. It didn't when I played it years ago. No, it did not. That's complete horseshit. No, I have no plans of playing retro Call of Duty games. I don't even know what you're talking about, Vietnamese comrade. I don't hate Cyberpunk. I just didn't enjoy it, so I'm not going to waste my time playing more of it. If you, oh, I'm going to try this new piece of food, this cuisine I never had before. Oh, I don't like it. Gee, let me just keep going back and buying it and trying it and not liking it over and over, right? No, I'm not an idiot. I didn't like Cyberpunk. I'm not going to waste time on playing the DLC. Which character is more fun for me to play in Street Fighter 6, E Honda or Lily? Honestly, probably Lily. E Honda, I don't know. Like, I get his build in Street Fighter 6. I understand it, but I don't think I like it as much. Like, I think Lily is the ultimate underdog, and if you win with her, you know you worked your ass off to do it. It's very hard to even get lucky with Lily and win. while E Honda can literally luck into a win constantly. He's got a lot of huge advantages with his very fast headbutt, the fact that his jab beats a lot and can combo into big combos and things. You get one counter hit and all of a sudden, like, the whole match turns in your favor. I don't think any of those things ever happen for Lily. So a win with Lily feels way more earned, and because of that, I actually enjoy playing with her more, I think, than Honda. I'm not saying I don't like Honda. I'm just saying that I think Lily feels more like an accomplished win. If I won $1 million, would I keep up my current rigorous streaming schedule? If I won $1 million, I would be able to basically do some great things. Like, I would pay off the back taxes that I owe. I would pay off the rest of my mortgage, so I don't have that, payment every month anymore. And that would be a huge, huge, huge amount of money that I don't have to pay and would make things easier around here. Likely what I would do, I mean, first of all, you have to understand something. $1 million is not enough money that you don't have to work. That's ridiculous. $1 million is not. People just over-exaggerate. You don't understand in the modern day, that's not as much money as you think it is, okay? If we're talking, I got a straight-up $1 million post-tax, so, like, I actually had $1 million in my pocket right now, and I don't owe it to anyone. It's just my money to spend as I would. I would, number one, pay off all my existing debts. Number two, pay off my parents' existing debts. Like, all that would be wiped clean. And then see what I have left. And yeah, likely I would try to, at the very least, all right, I would like to get less time here behind the camera. And I would absolutely like to spend more time with my family. Have an extra day a week to spend with Kat and do stuff with her. So I probably would stream less. I would still stream. I have to. You understand? Like, I have to keep streaming. There's no way that I could stop streaming. I would have to keep working because $1 million is not enough to pay for the rest of my life. But it certainly would make things a lot easier around here. For sure. I don't know which Call of Duty game was the best. I can tell you the ones I enjoyed the most. I remember Call of Duty 2. The sequel back in the day on PC was insanely good at the time that it came out, which is mid-2000s. It was a super duper good game. And then I would say Modern Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 2 were probably the ones that I enjoyed the most. Modern Warfare 1 was pre-YouTube, and Modern Warfare 2 was during YouTube. Yeah, those would probably be the games for me that are the best Call of Duty games overall. But that's my personal opinion. Good night, Willow. Halo is still up and running, and they're still doing updates for it. It's just that the player base went from way up here to insanely small. Like, remember when Halo Infinite came out, it was a Game Pass game. It was a hype game for everyone who owned an Xbox S or X. But then they botched it within the first year, and their player base went down. I think what they're saying now, their overall total player base today is less than 10% of what it was. So think about that. They lost over 90% of their player base. They're still supporting the game, but no one really cares. It's not a moneymaker or anything for them. Excuse me. Yes, I would still stream for fun, even if I didn't have to. I've already explained this. I love what I do. I absolutely love being here with you guys, interacting, having fun conversation, enjoying video games. This is fun to me. That's why I love it so much, and that's why, even though I'm here 6 days a week full time, it's not like, oh God, I gotta go to the grind of work today and I gotta suffer through it. I never feel like that. Never. Even on days like I know today, ultra hard games, right? The hardcore difficulty run of Resident Evil 4 expansion, Lies of P endgame, hard games. But I'm like, you know what? I'm excited to share those experiences with you guys and have a good time. I get more excitement out of it than anything else. So no, I don't feel that grind, you know? So because of that, if I were to be in a situation in my life where I didn't need to really work anymore, the money was not the issue, I would do it for fun. Now, I would never do it as much as I do today. Absolutely not. 6 days a week full time, I barely have any kind of a life outside of being in this office. But I would like to dramatically increase the amount of time I spend with my family, but I would still do this. It would just be way less. All right, I got $1 tip. It's just that fucking troll again, so I can ignore them. Of course, they're still here watching. I just find it hilarious that some of these people who troll me and they tip, they're here like every stream. Like every fucking stream. And they'll throw a tip to try to troll me during the stream. I'm like, oh my god, man. Anyway, George just tipped me $2. Says, you said in the past, Death Stranding is a great story but boring gameplay. In your opinion, do you feel I would enjoy your playthrough better than playing the boring game for myself? I have no idea. It really depends on many factors. Like, Mr. Kojima himself feels you'll get more out of the game if you play the gameplay because you understand the feelings of isolation and disconnection. And you know, those long delivery missions are were supposedly, according to him, intentionally designed that way so that you would feel when you played the game, okay? Personally, I don't feel like being bored or being tediously stuck in a pile of fucking rocks and I can't get out because I have 400 fucking packages on my back. That doesn't add anything to the story for me. It didn't. Like, I really felt like Death Stranding would have been an absolutely amazing movie or TV miniseries. I don't think it actually is a good video game. I think it would have been better as something more narrative-based that you don't even need that level of interaction to enjoy it. So, if that means you watch someone else play it, and you still enjoy it, I mean, I don't know. That's not how I experienced it. I experienced it as a game. As a game, I loved the story. I hated the gameplay elements. So, judge for yourself. Maybe start watching someone's playthrough and see if you like it. And if you're enjoying it, keep going. I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to tell you not to play a game because I don't know. I've never had that experience of just watching it and not playing it. See? I'm playing both Like a Dragon games, as I've said many times in my schedule updates. I'm going to be playing both of the upcoming ones, yes. Do you and Kat love chocolate candies or sweet candies? I love chocolate. I'm totally into chocolate. I think Kat's a mix. I think she likes both, but I like almost purely chocolate. And peanut butter, too, of course. Peanut butter's amazing, but you got to be so sparing when you eat that stuff, so I don't even really think about it. I try not to think about it. Spawn Killer did a super chat and asked, do I like candy corn? No, I do not. My wife does. I do not. I don't like it. She does. I don't know. I just think that it doesn't taste very good. A lot of people are weirded out by the texture. They say it's waxy or whatever. I really don't care about that. I just don't think it tastes good. Kat thinks it does taste good. So there you go. Difference of opinion. Would I like to see Marvel vs. Capcom make a comeback? No. I think it ran its course. Marvel 2 is still the best one of all of them, in my opinion. Marvel 3 was essentially a flashy game that was incredibly unbalanced, and sadly, I feel not fun to play at a competitive level. Any game where you get one hit, and that literally is basically leading to the end of the game, that's trash. That's not even a competitive fighting game. The thing was, at the time, it was the big flashy game, and that was when streaming was becoming prominent. So at the same time that everyone's able to live broadcast their games, you've got a big flashy game with comic book characters in it, and crazy combos, and hype, and people screaming. You see, it was like the perfect time for it. Personally, I don't even think Marvel 3 was a very good game. And being that all games these days have been so massively dumbed down, I don't think they would ever put out a versus game again that has the level of skill required like Marvel 2. So I don't even think they should bother. But that's my take. I'm sure many people would enjoy a Marvel 4 that plays like Marvel 3, but I didn't like Marvel 3. I received a $1.25 tip from I Have Sausage Nipples. Do you like candy corn? I already answered that question. You were a little slow to the draw there. But thank you for the $1 tip regardless. You were a little behind the 8 ball on that one. All right. So, guys, last few minutes here. Last few questions before we adjourn for the night. I don't know anything about Mortuary Assistant for the Switch. I never heard of it. But you could nominate it, I'm sure, for the Halloween Marathon. The nominations are open right now. By the way, those nominations will only be running until next weekend. Right? Let me see. Today's the 9th, so 10th, 11th, 12th. Yeah, probably this weekend. I'll close off nominations, and we'll tally up the most nominated games, and those will become a poll people will then vote on. All right? So, last real chance these last few days to nominate games. By typing !Halloween in the chat, or you can do it off the channel page here of DSPGaming Community tab or Members tab. If you're a member, there's a members only thread as well. Did you ever like Killer Instinct or not really because it's free on Xbox? The original Killer Instinct in arcades looked amazing and had a stereo CD soundtrack, so it sounded better than most games in the entire arcade. So at the time, it was like visuals and audio great. Gameplay elements were sound. It played kind of like Street Fighter combined with new elements. But it wasn't very balanced. Like, for example, there's certain characters in the game that are absolutely terrible. Like Riptor and stuff. He's garbage. And it sucks because you want to be able to play the game with everyone. You really can't. It's not a very balanced, competitive game. Killer Instinct 2, they made it way more balanced. But I actually didn't like it. The new Killer Instinct that came out at the launch of Xbox One seemed good at first. But what ended up happening was people discovered this weird desync issue where two people on the sides of the match would see completely different matches, and sometimes it would say you won, when on the other side someone thought that they won, and you don't even know what the game counted. It was this really weird desync online issue, and when that happened, I just stopped playing it, and then I never cared anymore. So there you go. Overpoweredbone says, what about a Halloween candy tier maker for the Halloween event? Well, I was thinking we were going to do the Halloween horror movie franchises ranking. That's the one that Derek is making for us right now. But if people wanted to do 2 tier makers during the Halloween event, we could. I'd be okay with that. We just have to limit the amount of games we play then. Maybe we limit it to like 1 game from members, 1 game from the common viewers, food, 2 tier makers, and maybe time for 1 more game if we have it or something, right? Because there's only so much time in a day-long marathon. I guess we'll have to see. All right, I got a $2 tip from Diamond Nipples. I had chicken vindaloo. Now I have upside down. Now I feel like an upside down volcano. There you go. Well, there you go. Make sure that when you're erupting, that you're erupting into the proper receptacle. That's all I have to say. By the way, I have no idea. I have no idea what we were at for tips. I think we were at 64, so I guess we'll say we're at 66. Looks like my keyboard malfunctioned at some point. I think we're at 66. I have no idea. But we have to go anyway, so. All right, guys. I think it is time to adjourn. Thank you for those who were here for the Lies of P conclusion, thanks. And for those who just chilled and hang out with me for the half an hour here of Q&A, thank you as well. And for those who supported the stream tonight, thank you. I appreciate you all. Thanks for killing some time. Until tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Peace out.